So this is actually my first video just talking about One Punch Man Season 2, just because I've been so busy with a whole bunch of other things that I haven't had a truly a good enough chance to really sit down and talk to you all very briefly about my thoughts on Season 2. I know I've mentioned a few things at the end of my reactions to Season 2, but I just wanted to briefly, very briefly, as briefly as possible within the next 2 to 4 minutes, just give you all my thoughts. So basically, guys, Season 2, for me at least, I know I've read online and seen other people's comments. Some I can agree with, some I'm just like, it's okay. But for me at least, it started off as a very high thing for me. I was very high on Season 2 just because of the simple fact that it was back. It has been roughly like 2.5 years since we watched Season 1. Since we've had Saitama come through and just blow us away. For the most part, the One Punch Man community just being blown away by this fresh new character. And once Season 2 came around, we were just glad that the homie was back. Now, as the episodes progressed, though, of course, I read online, roughly maybe after episode 2 was pushed out, that that this season wasn't going to be focused solely on Saitama, but it was going to be focused on other heroes, other villains. And I was like, that's fine. There's a reason why they're called support characters, and specific villains and stuff. That's totally fine. That's what's needed in anime, just so that anime can't doesn't become so dry. But as we got along in anime, again, this is just me giving my own opinion on Season 2. As we got along in this season, it just definitely seemed like Saitama was definitely pushed way back, as far as plot, as far as character development. He was just pushed. To me, it just was pushed way back in the back of the line as the focal point. Now, I do remember mentioning that Saitama, it was great that these heroes, these villains were getting screen time. But when it came to like the heroes, that I felt like if you're going to have all of these heroes, like literally all of these heroes within the city coming out of the woodwork fighting these villains, that you know at least have you know specific heroes join Saitama in his fight with the bad guys. Because as we've seen so far in Season 2, he's only literally just gained like what, two or three, roughly, which is, it's not that bad of a thing. But the other random heroes just popping up and just kind of saving the day, excuse me, to me it just put kind of like a little bit of a dry spill on Saitama himself. Now again, we know that Saitama can for roughly 99.9% of the time, roughly 100% of the time, just bulldoze his way through a lot of these fights with a lot of these enemies. That's just what he can do. But I understand that, where you bring in other heroes, and they go through the spiel of fighting bad guys, and having situations where they get knocked down, like Genos did in episode 10, like the week prior, and then coming back here in episode 11, showing up with Goro here. But with everything that I've said, though, this episode 11 was just a very fun episode. I really enjoyed what Goro brought to the table this week. But as a whole, it just for me, if I gave it a scale of 1 to 10, Season 2, for me, roughly towards the middle of the season, became a 6 out of 10. And I'm not being generous. It's just there were instances where I was enjoying the anime, but for the most part, it was just because there was so much clutter going on in the middle of the show, that I just was just sitting back like, man, like, when is this going to kind of die down and get back to the focus of, what we've all been, longing and waiting to see. Now, again, the plot has started to pick up even more later on in the show, roughly episode 9, episode 8, roughly between episodes 8 and up to this point, episode 11. The plot has picked up, but it was just a lot of stuff was going on in the middle, a lot of clutter. You just really didn't know what direction the show was going. At least, again, this is just me. Anybody else can definitely disagree with me, because your opinion is all that matters compared to mine. Same thing with me. My opinion in the end is what matters to me. So, but there's always room for a healthy debate, as long as we all can have a healthy debate. But that's pretty much my thoughts in a nutshell, guys. 6 out of 10, roughly. I'll give it a 7 now, just because of what has been going on within the second season so far. Roughly, like I said, between episodes 8 and up now. But roughly episodes like 4 through 7 was where the clutter started to happen. And I was just like, man, like, when is this gonna kind of die down? But enough of my rambling, guys. What did y'all think of this video? Let's have a conversation in the comment section if you feel up to it. Sorry for the much longer video that I planned to record if you made it this far. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section if you feel up to it, and I will talk to you on the next One Punch Man Season 2 video. Peace, guys.